The Pursuit of Happyness is a heart-wrenching and inspiring true story about Chris Gardner, a man who overcomes homelessness and personal hardships to achieve success. The movie, starring Will Smith as Chris Gardner, follows his journey through struggle and perseverance. The story: in the early 1980s, Chris Gardner was a struggling salesman in San Francisco. He had invested his life savings into purchasing bone density scanners, which he tried to sell to doctors. However, the scanners weren't selling well, and Chris found himself deep in financial trouble. His wife, Linda, became frustrated with their financial strain and left him, taking their young son, Christopher, with her. Determined to turn his life around, Chris managed to land an unpaid internship at a prestigious stock brokerage firm, Dean Witter. Despite the lack of income, he worked tirelessly, hoping that his hard work would eventually pay off with a full-time position. But life wasn't kind to him. He and his son were evicted from their apartment and forced to live in shelters, while Chris juggled the pressures of his internship and being a single father. Even though things seemed bleak, Chris never gave up. He pushed forward with the belief that he could make a better life for his son. Chris faced one of the toughest periods of his life during this time, but he never let his struggles affect his son, keeping his spirit positive and always reminding him to chase his dreams. Despite being homeless, he found ways to make ends meet, often spending nights in public restrooms or in shelters with his son. The turning point came when Chris was offered a permanent position at Dean Witter. His sheer perseverance, dedication, and intelligence paid off. By the end of the film, Chris has transformed his life, becoming a successful stockbroker. He was able to provide a stable life for his son, who now looks up to him as a hero. The Pursuit of Happyness is a story about never giving up, no matter how impossible the situation seems. It's about believing in yourself, working relentlessly for your dreams, and never letting adversity define who you are. Will Smith's performance as Chris Gardner is deeply emotional, showing not only the challenges of being a single father, but also the strength and love required to overcome life's toughest moments. The film's success is rooted in its ability to inspire, showing audiences that with determination and a strong will, it's possible to rise from the most challenging circumstances. The end. Like, share, and subscribe.